And good evening and welcome to the Crochet Crowd live here on this beautiful Thursday night here in Nova Scotia. We are doing Loose Ends with Mikey, but before we continue on, we are going to have my neighbor and my great friend Karen take it away. She's on the bottom of your screen today, all in blue, and I will shut up right now.
Honestly, you're not going to have to, I thought I was doing the intro. I wanted to say hello and welcome to the Crochet Crowd.
You just did.
Okay. Hi. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Karen, and we are here. This is the very, very first Loose Ends with Mikey. Yay! Can we have a round of applause? Yay! And we do have a very special guest from the Crochet Crowd. You know, she is all the way from Alberta, Canada. We found another Canadian, or at least
Alberta, Canada. Interesting.
Alberta. See, yes, Michael doesn't know these things. So Michael is not aware. He sees this lovely person on the screen, but he doesn't know who she is really and why she's here and all of the things, her story, because he wanted to hear about it in real time. So I think that's fantastic. So I've had the privilege of meeting her. Her name is Shanice, and she is from Alberta, Canada. Wave, everybody.
Woo!
And if you haven't noticed already, she is sitting in a very interesting location. Michael, you noticed right away.
I noticed right. I have seen. Oh, let's hang on. Let's see your background, Shanice. We're gonna judge.
Oh, we're judging. Yeah. Oh, hey, I see something there. Very good. Yeah, she drives a truck. She drives between Alberta and Saskatchewan, and not just any truck. She does dangerous materials.
Oh, hazardous goods.
Hazardous goods. So I'm going to officially let Michael boot me here, okay? And I'm just going to see if I can't find the live broadcast. It didn't pop up for me right away, Michael, so hopefully it did, and I'll just kind of message you if it doesn't. Okay. But I'm so excited to introduce you to Shanice, Michael. I had a wonderful conversation with her earlier, and I can't wait for you to get to know her as well. So Shanice, Michael, Shanice.
Hello.
And there she goes. Look, I just click a button and she's gone. It's magic. And okay, so I noticed your background. I used to be a transport driver. Tell me what the hell is going on over there in Alberta.
Like weather-wise or just in general?
Why are you in that truck? Tell me that.
Okay. So I'm a long-haul truck driver. I've been driving for about 12 years now. I've been at this company for 8 now. And so I haul dangerous goods in Super B tankers. So 2 trailers. And I haul 60,000 liters of butane is what I do. And so what I do with that is it goes to pipelines, and what it does is it lowers the density of the oil. So I'm more busy in the winter because we got to bring the density of the oil lower, and slow in the summertime. So that's what I do. So I live in the truck for about 8 days, and then I go home, and I'm home for, if we're busy, about 36 hours. And then other times I can be home up to a week and whatnot. I enjoy my home time. So
now you don't see very many women. Like when I was working at the truck, so for people that don't know my backstory, I used to be a transport driver, very much like you, not hazardous goods, of course. But it's a really hard job. And you don't see very many women in the trucking field. So I find this fascinating.
Yeah, no, very rarely women. In my company alone, I was the only female for probably 6 of those 8 years. And then we have hired on another lady that works with us. I find that there are a lot of older ladies that are in the trucking industry. I seem to be one of the younger ones. I'm 33, but it's young. I'm still I don't see a lot of women. Even so for dangerous goods, for the butane and propane, whenever I go to all these plants, I'm the only woman. I rarely see any other women drivers. In the States, I've seen a little bit more, but not as many up here.
Would you like to see that being changed, or are you cool with how it is?
No, I most definitely. honestly, women are, there's been studies, we are actually better drivers because we have different critical ways of thinking and problem solving and all that. So it's, I would like to see a lot more women. It would be a lot more nicer to have. Especially, I think it's actually starting to get to where they're wanting to put.
Something just happened to your sound. Did you move something? There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. They're starting to hopefully do truck driving as a trade now. So I'm hoping that'll maybe get more people into the trucking industry. We definitely need drivers. There's, it's honestly, it's chaos on the roads. And I drive only nights. I have been working night shift for 8 years. But I love the nights because I don't have to deal with all the chaos on the roads during the day. And at nighttime, it's peaceful, it's quiet. There's not a lot of traffic on the roads. I just have to worry about the animals that like to jump out in front of me. But
that's so I was a team driving. Do you know that I was a truck driver?
I do. Yep, for sure.
I was a team driver, so I drove in the nighttime. But when I was tired, I would hallucinate. And I would hallucinate animals jumping in front of me when they weren't there, and I'd be like swerving out of the way of nothing. And so, do you find in the night that could happen with you, or?
I've not really ever had hallucinations, but I guess I can't say that. One time, I swear that I saw Simba walking down the side of the road, and I don't know if it was just a big dog or a cougar, or I don't know what, but I swore it was Simba. But like, I wasn't even tired, so I'm not really sure what that was about. I call my dad and I'm like, Dad, I think I've seen Simba. He's like, I think it would be great for you to pull over and go to bed.
Yeah.
But no, I've never, but I've been on night shifts for 8 years. So it's my routine that I'm always like, my brain is awake at night. So I find myself more active and alive pretty much at nighttime. So I'm more comfortable in dark.
That's a good thing. Craziest thing you ever saw driving a truck?
Okay, in Montana, I was driving through Montana. So I did stateside for a year, and I went through 23 states. And I was driving through Montana, and I seen a dead deer on the side of the road with a get well soon balloon tied to it.
Oh, shut the hell up.
It was wild. I just like stared for a while. I'm just like, did I just see what I thought I just seen? It was something. Yeah.
When I was driving, I was going through Indianapolis. Is that yeah, that's a city, right? That's not a state.
Yeah. No, that's a city.
Yes. Yeah. Indianapolis, I don't know. I was going through down there somewhere. And anyway, so I looked here. So there was this little pickup truck that was kind of like following along, but they didn't need to be. And I looked down, right? And anyway, I saw some pretty wicked shit going on in that car. And so anyway, so you could always tell these cars when they have their CBs because they got this big aerial thing. Anyway, I'm like, I look over and I'm like, I yelled to my partner in the back and I said, you will not believe what I'm looking at. And I said, whatever you need to do, just give me a razor right now. so anyway, when I look down, this guy is trying to advertise her for sale at the next truck stop. So my partner got on the CB and said, there's a pretty little pretty little white truck right here right now showing her snap. And all of these truck drivers just started like bombarding each other like carnival bumper cars to get a look at this chick, eh? And they're like, you can have that. You're picking on the wrong driver. But anyway, it's just one of those things that kind of make it fun as you go. So yeah.
Yeah, so, I had a bit of an experience of that in Memphis, Tennessee. I was parked there for the night, and I was told afterwards that you should never park in Memphis. Memphis is a terrifying place to be.
It's awful. I think I know where you're talking about. It is. They bring them in by the busloads.
Yeah, and I was sleeping because I had to load at like 1 in the morning or something. And this was at like 7 o'clock at night. And I was sleeping and I got a knock on my door and I'm all frazzled brain and I jump in my front seat and what do? I rip open my curtains and I open the door and this lady is standing there and she looked at me and I looked at her and she like she borderline screamed, and then I've never seen a woman run away faster than that.
Well,
I
you're
was just
so
like,
lucky. You're so.
what's happening?
I had a lot lizard crawl into my truck only one time, and guess where it was?
In Memphis?
No, in your area. It was actually on the right in Calgary on the Red Deer Trail area.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
In the middle of fucking summer. It's like hot as hell out. And she says she just needs to come in and warm up.
Yeah, I don't think you're wanting to warm up.
No. And then I think in Michigan, a woman prostitute knocked on the door and I said, I'm not into that. And she goes, wait a minute, I got a friend. I asked the rest stop so fast. So fun. So I guess we're here for crochet. Talking about lot lizards and a lot of fun. So you're a crocheter and
I am, yeah.
And
So, oh, sorry.
no, I didn't say anything.
Oh,
So
okay. So,
okay, go ahead.
yes, I am a crocheter. So I picked it up about 8 years ago now, I guess. And I bought a book from Michael's that said, learn how to crochet. And so the reason I got into that is because I started with a night shift and I wanted something to do at night that didn't wake up my husband and that I wasn't just staring at the TV all night long.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. So I picked that book up and I started with a teal ball of string and I just started doing all the like lessons in the book and stuff and worked from there. And then I found you on YouTube and I've followed tons of your tutorials and I absolutely love them. I've learned so much from you. So it's so yeah, I've actually grown quite a bit in my crochet hobby, I guess, or career. I don't know. It's wonderful. It helps me relax and it gives my hands something to do and I'm not just staring at the TV blankly or whatever. And yeah, I enjoy designing things and learning. And my favorite thing is all your stitch sampler blankets, like the study ofs. I absolutely love those. I found I was making these. It's a Yarn Inspirations one. It's I can't remember what it's called now, but it's just a chevron. And I found it to be so boring because you're just up and down, up and down. And
very much like the prostitutes on the side of your track.
Yeah. So then when I found the stitch samplers, well, I enjoyed so much of watching your video and learning that stitch and then doing that and then, going around and then starting the next one and learning a new stitch. That was so fascinating for me. And like the study of determination, I remember you posting on social media that it was a hard one for you to create and stuff.
Hated that thing. Hated
but
it.
I loved it.
Yeah. So
it was so wonderful.
So the Crochet Crowd, this YouTube channel actually was a trucking channel. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's how we started. And
wow.
There was a magazine called Highway. I forget the name of it.
The Highway News?
Yeah, I think so. And so,
Okay.
And anyway, they had an advertisement for a trucker buddy program and matching a trucker with a classroom in the United States.
Oh,
and I was flipping through that thing and I'm like, I am so bored on the road. And if you'd like to make a difference with children's lives, and I literally wrote in, this is before even like email, but I wrote them a letter, said, I'm so interested in that. And so they paired me with a classroom in New York where I was part of a grade 5 class for 3 years of a special needs class.
Wow.
And on the bulletin board was, where is Mikey? And so they would, so what I would do is write all these letters, all these postcards. And so it became the fact is that I just send them in bulk. And so the teacher would pull them out. Where's Mikey today? And the children would have to find me on the map and whether I was in Canada or the US. And so what I didn't know, which really was an impactful, which kind of really kickstarted the crochet crowd in such a way, is that she was using me as a writing assignment for the kids to write me a letter. And so after the first month, I got a letter from each one of the kids. And so the channel was originally called Mikey's Mail way back when, because in the beginning is that Tyra Banks was doing her show with Next Top Model, and it was Tyra's mail. And I thought, we are just as important. So I wrote the kids a letter. We're just as important. Let's name ourselves. So I had Tyrone Mail and Alicia Mail, and I was Mikey's Mail. And so we felt empowered, just as much of a celebrity, to have this mail coming back and forth. So the classroom teacher intervened on children that were being abused because they felt like I was a friend. And so they were explaining to me things going on at home where there was intervention going on, where they literally had to call the cops to have these kids protected. And I thought, holy shit, what a cool opportunity for a kid to actually reach out to a stranger in that way. And so I was bored one day in Kentucky picking up these fucking toilets, coming back to Ontario for a condominium. And I was literally sitting there knitting. And I thought, you know what? I got to do something. So I wanted to show the kids that I could do stuff. And that's what started the whole crochet crowd thing. Because when I put it on YouTube, I didn't know they were banned. And then other people on YouTube was like, oh my God, what's this? And that's what started it. So it was literally the trucking of that program to get me to go here. It was amazing.
I think I do remember reading that in your book about the Mikey's Mail. Yes, I do remember that now.
So as much as trucking, because it was a hard job. Like trucking is a tough job.
It is.
Yeah. So anyway, so I find it empowering. So I think a lot of women in the trucking field have a lot of GI tract issues because they're sitting so long. Like, from what I understand.
Probably. My feet like to swell a little bit. Like when I spend, like when I'm a week in the truck, I get home and my feet are borderline purple. So that's not ideal. And I know that my husband and I are trying to have a family, and I know that I won't be able to drive as long while I'm pregnant because of all the sitting that I do and whatnot. But yeah, it's very difficult. I know the most difficult time I had as a truck driver was during COVID. And that was absolutely horrendous. There was bathrooms shut down. You couldn't get food on the road. It was terrifying, honestly. And people treated us like we were garbage. And it was really hard to go through that and have to deal with that, especially when I pack food when I'm on the road, but to have to not be able to go to a washroom with running water because it's COVID and we weren't allowed to go there. And they had just porta potties, which I'm sure most people know about porta potties. They are terrifying on their own self. So that was a little bit much for me, but it got better.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I popped back in as you're talking about porta potties. Is that subliminal, Michael?
You said to put you back in.
I was teasing.
Oh, you were?
Well, no. I was teasing about the porta potties. Hello, everyone. No, there's been a lot of people commenting in the chat, which is phenomenal, and I love it. They want to hear a little bit more about what you crochet and how you crochet in the truck and that sort of thing. So I just thought I kind of put that out there because again, we're so interested in it. This is awesome. I knew you'd hit it off. This is awesome.
For sure.
Yes.
All right, you can kick me out again. It's fine.
Okay, she's gone again. So that was going to be my next question. And when do you actually have time to crochet then if you're working so hard?
Okay, so a lot of the times I have either I have to wait to load or I have to wait to unload. And so those are the times that I really I pick it up. So I keep a blanket in here that I'm making just for myself. It's with the red heart stripes, the neon ones, or retro stripes. That's what it's called, retro stripes. And I just love the colors. It's just so fun and pretty. So I have that in my truck all the time. And I'm just doing like a moss stitch kind of granny stitch kind of blanket. So I work on it. I was stuck behind an accident last winter for about 6 hours. And so I just pulled it out and I was sitting in my chair and, and crocheting on that. And I had people come up beside me and they were talking to me because I was about second or third truck from where the accident was. And then they like seen what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, just crocheting a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me something to do. So that's what I keep in my truck all the time to keep me occupied when I have downtime. A lot of the times, if I'm busy, I might not pick it up in a week. But when I'm at home, that's pretty much all I do when at night. After my husband goes to bed, I put on my show. I watch Friends or Big Bang, and because I've watched them about 150 times each. And so it's just on in the background so I don't have to watch it.
Somebody's asking if you have your blanket with you now to show it.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Okay, let's see it.
Sorry, I'm losing light here, so just give me a second.
Okay. Yep. So Kathleen W is asking what the favorite stitch is of all time. Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Stop Google. That's really pretty.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just with the retro stripes. I love the colors. It's so fun. I like vibrant colors. Vibrant colors are very happy to me. So that's what I like most about this one. So this is what I keep in my truck all the time.
Can you tilt down your camera a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so you got that going on. And so how long will it take you to finish something like that?
Oh, well, see, I like long, big blankets. So I think I have like 16 balls that I bought for this blanket alone. And I think I've only probably got about maybe 5 balls into it, I believe. So, I mean, I don't get to work on this one a lot. But I just finished a blanket. I learned a new technique. It's the mosaic technique. I learned that. I found YouTube tutorials and stuff.
Did you like it?
It was really interesting, but
that's a word for
it was time consuming. Super time consuming. Like I started November 3rd and I finished it December 31st. And there was maybe 2 or 3 days that I didn't work on it. And I took it in the truck with me, and anytime I had downtime, I worked on it. So it was very time consuming for me, I found. But it was an interesting, but I prefer like your stitch samplers, like the study of. I really, really enjoy those. Determination. And then I did the gnome blanket by Repeat After Me. I did that one.
Yes.
And so my favorite stitch for that person that asked is I really like the corner to corner. I find it very fascinating. And I made a Winnie the Pooh blanket for a cousin when she had a baby. And although I borderline wanted to burn it because I had about 25 different bobbins tied to me at one time. And then I had to rip out about probably 8 to 10 hours of work because I missed one stitch about 2 rows before. Oh, it was so frustrating.
Somebody was asking what stitch was that blanket that you were holding up?
Oh, this would be the moss stitch. It's the Repeat Crafter Me pattern. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. That's what that pattern is, and it's just a moss stitch. It's the Granny Stripe crochet blanket, is what it's called. And yeah, I've just been working on it in the truck whenever I have time. If I'm not working on anything else, I prefer. I like working at home. It's more comfortable. I have a chair that I sit in and a light. The lighting in my truck isn't all that great when I'm working, so it's kind of hard, and I got to kind of like sit in my bed.
Yes.
Otherwise, like I usually sit in my seat, but after I've sat in my seat for 16 hours, sometimes I just want to get in the bunk.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a double-decker bunk there or just one?
No, just the one bunk. So you can see my bed, and then I have cupboards up top there.
Yes, convenient. So the ultimate question is, when do you find time to yarn shop if you're working so much?
Oh, see, that's a bad thing. So it takes me about an hour to 2 hours to load and 2 hours to unload. And when I go up north to Fort McMurray, it takes me 3 hours to unload. So I find myself doing a lot of yarn shopping online.
Nice.
That's yeah, when I usually do my yarn shopping, much to my husband's chagrin, but that's okay.
No, I heard Karen is a huge online shopper, and she likes DoorDash. Did you know you could DoorDash Michael's?
What? No.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
So. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I live out in the country, so that's not a thing for me, but.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're stuck somewhere in a truck stop.
Oh, yeah. See, I like skip the dishes for food when I'm in the truck.
Yeah.
Although it is quite funny when the skip the dishes people come and they find Semi and me sitting there. I get all kinds of comments.
Well, a girl's got to eat too. Isn't that a song? The girl's got to eat. Oh, I think that's that jazz singer. Karen's probably knowing who it is. Karen,
I'm not sure.
That jazz singer. Who's that jazz singer?
Oh my God. Talk about throw me under the bus. I don't know. Jazz singer.
Diana Krall. Diana Krall. And she's gone. So there she goes.
Just gone.
Such a good friend I am, I tell you. Anyway, I see your house from my desk over here. So you go yarn shopping, and so what do you really want to do with your crochet? Like, do you want to keep expanding your skills, or are you comfortable where you are? Like, where do you see yourself from now?
I like learning. I'm a very big learner. I like learning new things and figuring it out. I prefer to keep learning. Like, I can't just stick to one thing. I like learning different things. So this goes back to my trucking career too. I've done tons of different things in my trucking career. I've hauled pipe, I've hauled grain, I've hauled gravel. So I've done a lot of different things. So I like experimenting in different areas. So with my crochet, people tell me all the time that I should sell my stuff and go to markets. But
forget it. Honestly, just do it for yourself. I have so much joy giving so there's people like me where we get the yarn. So some of it's gifted so that we teach with it. Other stuff I buy, like I did this major purchase because it's 70% off right now on Yarn Inspiration, just so you know.
I've seen that.
I was kind of a bad boy. So anyway, but I enjoy giving away my product without any expectation. And if I sat in a booth and somebody gave me $40 for something that I know is worth more than the yarn, it would hurt my feelings. I'd rather just give it.
Yep. And that's what I do. Like all the stuff that I've made, I did a little bit of amigurumi. I do enjoy that, but I find the sewing the pieces together very tedious. And like I'm the biggest critic of myself, so I find that when I get it done, I don't think it's perfect, but everybody else thinks it's perfect. But I have a hard time with it. But so all those animals that I made owls and cows and all kinds of stuff. I just gave them away because it gives me a sense of pride and accomplishment that I give these things away. And I build blankets for different people. I made all of my family members big blankets. That blanket I was telling you about, the chevrons, it's all for their holiday trailers. So when it's cool at night, then they can cover up with that, and everybody loves them. So I just give them away.
Now, Crochet has a great question. It says, have you ever met another trucker that crochets?
No, absolutely not.
You gotta make that happen.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Pardon, sorry?
You're always on the move. I wonder if there's a stitch group in Fort McMurray.
I'm not sure. That'd be something to look into.
Yeah, you never know, right? Unless they don't.
I'm all over Alberta, so.
Yeah. Cool.
But also though, I work at night, so I have a hard time meeting people. Like I can go entire shift without seeing anybody, and then when I do see somebody, I'm talking their ear off.
Oh, you're one of those. Don't come to my group.
Sometimes I need a little bit of social interaction.
I have a good friend, and she shows up and she talks and she talks and she talks. And so after 30 minutes, I'm like, "You've used up all your words for the day." And she goes, "Like hell I am," and there goes another 3 hours.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of fun. I had another question for you. I just looking at there. So have you been out to Nova Scotia at
I
all?
have not. I was telling Karen, I've always wanted to come out to the East Coast. I've been to Vancouver, but I've never been farther than like Cornwall, Ontario. And I'm absolutely love seafood. Seafood is my favorite thing. My family, my dad's side of the family, we do seafood for Christmas. And so that's something that we always do. We get live lobsters and crab and all that. And I've always wanted to come out to the East Coast just to see a different scenery than what I've seen.
Oh, for sure.
It's way different than over here. Like I got mountains, but over there it's ocean and beautiful scenery. And so I've always wanted to try to experience that for sure. I've never been over that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, so Daniel and I, we decided that we were going to move because we were our house was getting too small and our business was getting bigger. So we
For sure.
thought we'd move closer to Toronto in Ontario because we were like 2.5 hours away. But we just couldn't afford it. And I think we're going to move. Let's just do something drastic. So we considered moving west.
Okay.
I really was really head over heels for Chilliwack.
Oh yeah, it's
Right.
very
Oh my
beautiful.
Beautiful there. But again, you can't afford to live there. And so then we looked at Victoria, BC, the island, couldn't afford to be there. So we came east. And so the closest I've ever been out east before I came here was that I was in the truck and we got dispatched to Northern California to pick up Easter lilies that apparently they grow there naturally. So they were picking them up and we dropped them at the greenhouse in the border of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, and then we had to pick up frozen fries that were shipped in from PA and take them all the way to Arkansas. Arkansas, down there. And anyway, so that was the only place. That's the only time I've ever been in Nova Scotia, so I never saw it. So I said, let's just do it. So it was somebody at Yarn Inspiration said, if you don't move to where we move, you'd be stupid. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be stupid, you know? And so because we live in a very vibrant region here, very creative, like there's craft shows almost every weekend. It's like sickening.
Really? Wow.
But it's a thing here. It's the creativity here is crazy. But yeah. And you can actually get craft showed out. Like there's that many of them going on.
I don't think I've ever been to a craft show. Like there's like the Christmas markets, but that's Christmas time. Like I've never been to any of those kinds of things. Alberta's very like oil field kind of ranchy kind of based. So I think maybe that's where that come from. So I'm not sure.
Ratchy. I didn't know that was a word. But I absolutely, since coming here, you're going to have to drag me in a casket to get me out of Nova Scotia. And then, you know, Karen was already thinking about moving to Nova Scotia anyway. So we didn't drag her out because her husband is actually from here. And so anyway, it was just really, it's a hell of a great place to be. I just love it here.
Yes, I would absolutely love to come out and visit. I actually did sign up for the Nova Scotia on the waiting list for the tour. That would be something that would be so interesting for me.
Well, how do we get you from a waiting list to a seat?
That would be really cool.
Karen, this is my new best friend. We need to, I don't know if I can allow to do that, but she's controlling everything, so that's okay. So I think there's some people on the waiting list, but you never know.
Yeah. I got an email saying that there has been some movement in it, so let's hope.
You know, people get always super excited. It's like a crochet cruise. They get always super excited until they realize they got to pay for the damn thing.
Well, I was already thinking last night when I signed up, I'm like, if I work quite a bit, I'm going to save up the money and I'm just going to do it. My husband can stay at home and I'm just going to go.
The nice thing about what we do is that a lot of our crochet cruisers, and actually there's quite a few cruisers that are on the chat right now. Kathy Jones is being one of them, is that there is a safety of coming with a group. So we get a lot of solo women on by themselves that have never ever traveled by themselves, but they have a sense of of that they're never really alone. Well, they might be on the plane, but once they get there, it's a party. And then people think that they see ladies with yarn on a cruise ship that we're going to be like snooze fest. Meanwhile, let me tell you, Shanice. So one cruise, oh my God, we had these drinkers crawling all over the piano bar, and she was wearing my name tag, like the Crochet crowd stuff. I'm like, I don't care if she's crawling all over that piano bar. Just get that lanyard off her neck.
This one's not mine.
Yeah, she's done. Yeah. But she did look like shit the next day, so you never know.
Karma, I guess.
Yeah. So okay, so crochet. We got any other questions let's bring in Karen here. Karen's going to come on live, and 3, 2, here she comes. Karen.
And am I going to go now?
Yeah, well, I'll do it when I need
seriously.
Yeah.
No, I think it's awesome. I have been following, of course, the comments, which is absolutely great. People are loving this. This is wonderful. Thank you, Shanice, for being part of this whole new endeavor that Michael's taking on. I think it's phenomenal. And yes, there's a wait list, but I'm going through it. I promise. But anyway,
well, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, about riding in a high heel on the top of the bus.
Oh, I would love to do a Priscilla moment.
Me too.
Moment.
Make sure you stop before you hit the bridge.
But yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. Let me think on that one there a little bit, Michael.
Well, you got to
bridge heights.
But no, this is great. I love that you crochet. I love that that you do that in your truck. I love that you are so into all of this. And I knew as soon as I read it, I thought, oh, I need to talk to this woman because I have a feeling she and Michael will get along really well, and this will be a wonderful. Yes. Wonderful broadcast. And I hope everyone who is on watching tonight is enjoying it. It looks like they are. So thank you. I haven't really seen any more. People are liking the concept, Michael. What do you think, Shanice? Is it scary to do this with him?
No, I was so nervous. Like I barely slept today. Like I was just going over it and over it in my mind all this morning because I left home about 8 o'clock last night. And I loaded at midnight, and then I drove down to southern Alberta, and then I went to bed. And I couldn't sleep. I was just flipping and flopping. And then when I I unloaded this afternoon, and I got fuel, and I parked, and like, okay, I could do this. And then once I got talking, it's so easy.
Yeah, you certainly could, and I'm so glad you did. What you think,
I thought
Michael?
Maybe should I get out and show you guys my truck?
Sure. Yes.
Oh, we're getting a tour.
Yes, you should.
I just gotta put on my shoes.
I didn't expect a truck tour.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to.
Well, it's like a studio tour. We're gonna see people.
What happened?
Oh,
there we go. She's back.
I'm not sure how to turn the camera around.
That's okay. We'll just face us towards the truck. Ooh, oh my God! I cannot believe she's driving a double tanker.
A double tanker, yeah.
That girl means business.
No kidding. And look at the snow they have there in Alberta.
Yeah. Wow. So where are you right now? Are you at a truck stop?
Yeah, I'm at UFA in Milk River, Alberta. So southern Alberta. So I'm about 15 minutes from the US border.
I know where you are. That's so cool. So cool. Are you there by yourself in the parking lot?
Yep, it's just me. No one's around right now.
Oh my God. And you feel safe, I hope.
Oh yeah. No, Alberta, the only place I didn't feel safe was when I was in Memphis. That was back in my my States tour. That was an interesting experience for me. You can't believe how many times I got asked to get married while I was down there.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Isn't Elvis from Memphis? No.
Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
Maybe
that's where Graceland is, yeah. So then yeah, so this is my truck. So I got cupboards, and then I got a fridge down there.
Let's see
and
what's in
then
the fridge. Let's see what you're eating.
See what's in the fridge.
Well,
I had all my stuff taken out by U.S. Customs crossing over in Alberta.
well, I got milk, and then I got turkey dinners from Christmas that I froze, so I got to be on the road.
Oh, real turkey dinners or Swanson? We have a friend who likes Swan.
Nope. They're real. So they have turkey, stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes, ham, all the good fixins.
Oh my God.
And then I got a microwave, and then that's my dad.
Do you got a little oven? I had a little lunch pail oven.
No, I don't, but my husband does actually. He has one of those in his truck. So my husband's actually a trucker. My husband and I have a trucking company in Alberta. So we own a truck and trailer, and that's what he does. So he hauls grain every day, and he's home every night. And then I'm on the road for about 8 days and then home. So.
Well, that's going to be a hell of a stretch for you to have kids if you're both like with this lifestyle, but that's tough.
It will be, but we actually bought another truck. So eventually I will not be.
They got to be 18 or they got to be 20 or more before they're riding that truck, though.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to get off the road, and then I will help him out with the grain aspect of that, and we'll both haul together. And then when we have kids, I figure when they get old enough, they can be strapped in the passenger seat, and away we go.
Yeah, I've seen that. Actually, I've seen a lot. Most of the women I've seen driving truck usually have a cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
Lots of cats and dogs. When I hauled pipe, I had my dogs with me. I have 2 border collies, and they were with me quite a bit. They've been all over BC and Alberta and Saskatchewan. They've been with me. But for what I do now, like because I'm pipeline and oil field, a lot of places they don't allow animals into the sites. So
apparently, right now watching is Dana's Wanderlust, and apparently she's a trucker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Truck crocheting socks right now.
Wow.
Oh, that's wonderful. Where is she at?
Yeah, we'll find out.
She hasn't said that yet.
Girl, where is she at? Because we need a pull up some
and as Kathy said, there's nothing private with you, Michael.
No.
Show me your refrigerator.
Michael has never heard a secret he can't keep.
90%.
I have Kathy Jones, though. I have the most incriminating photo of her.
Oh.
Yep. Right on a cruise deck. Oh, she's in Las Cruces, New Mexico. New Mexico is my favorite state of the entire U.S. New Mexico. Did you have a favorite state when you were down there?
I never did get to New Mexico, but so my favorite state was probably Louisiana or Mississippi. I found it to be so beautiful there. Although the heat was very, very terrifying for me because I'm not a heat person as it is. And then Alberta is very dry. And then I go down there. Well, I'd step out of my truck and I was already sweating. Like it was incredible for the heat. And of course I was there in June, so super, super hot. But I just found it to be so beautiful and lush and green. And it was just wonderful to see.
Well, I knew New Mexico, if you can see the damn spiders from as high as you are in a truck, you ain't getting out of the truck. And then they said, beware of snakes in the truck stops. I'm like, ugh. This is cool. So that's why they invented water bottles.
Yes.
Again, nothing private, Michael.
We had a female driver in our trucking company, and she came in and the license was expired. And so I said, my God, you do such a good safety check around your thing. And she goes, well, Michael, when I bend down to take a piss, I'm holding onto the bumper and the license plate was right in front of me.
That is one of the harder aspects of being a woman trucker. You can't just pretend you're checking your tires. Everything hanging out.
We used to have to tuck in behind the back end where you sleep. for that. But yeah, so we're going to wrap up tonight, and I want to thank you so much for being our first guest. This is something I've always wanted to do. I just didn't have the time to be able to make it work. So I really appreciate, what I'm going to take away from this conversation, what you were talking about. I got to let the damn dog out. My God, rough my water.
Salty.
No, it's
Where's that puppy dog?
But what I'm going to take away from this conversation is what you're talking about with COVID. I think we all concerned ourselves with sitting at home and not being able to go to the restaurants and stuff. And I really never thought what a trucker's life is going to be, because I know a trucker's gotten a lot of shit for not delivering stuff. But when I hear that and the truck stops were closed, it's something I had never comprehended was even a thing, and especially in your condition, being a woman, that you need the privacy stuff. Like, thank you so much for your service, really, to be able to keep us moving along. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a difficult time in my trucking career. Probably one of the hardest times I've ever been through. Was going through that. I felt like no one cared about any of the truckers. It was just, and we were keeping this country running. And
I just hadn't thought of it. I just didn't think of it. But I have to say, though, I'm more compassionate when these people are bitching about their shipments being late and stuff. I'm like, you realize that there's a trucking thing going on. So I looked at trucking from that perspective, but never from the life of the trucker that is currently on the road dealing with that. Like, so yeah. So wow, that's really moving. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, no problem.
Thanks, Shanice.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much. It means the world to me that I got to be your first guest, and I got to do it from my home away from home here.
Sweetie, don't tell anybody that my first was a woman. I gave that up years ago. I think you just cracked a new thing in me.
Oh my gosh. Now. Yeah.
So thank you, everybody. If you could kindly give us a like and a love and everything here on the platforms, I'd certainly appreciate it. And we'll be back with another guest next time.
Are we doing this next week or in 2 weeks, Michael?
I don't know. What do you think?
That's up to you, my friend.
Yeah.
Because we have somebody lined up and ready to go. I'm excited for you to meet her too. Oh,
so
I gave it away.
She's been posting the link if you would like to be a guest on the show.
Yes.
You're gonna deal with Karen first and make sure your connection's good, and make sure that you're the right fit for here, and make sure you're not advertising your business.
Yeah, you're going to deal with Karen first. That's what I took away. Oh my gosh! So yes, you will be able to watch this later.
If you do make it here to Nova Scotia, it'll be a pleasure to show you around my area. I love it here, and we hope to see you possibly on the bus.
Yep. I'm hoping so. Let's hope so.
Yeah, you got to work Karen. Just keep emailing her like every day.
Oh, I'm going
don't do
fair.
But I was the first one on here.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been absolutely wonderful. Next week or the week after, Michael, make a decision.
Do you want to do next week?
You got it. So next Thursday at 8:00 Atlantic time, 7:00 Eastern, and blah, 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 down the road. You will be able to watch this later. Somebody had asked that. It is going to be posted on our YouTube channel. And I know we're going to have a little link to it as well, somewhere as well, right, Michael? That's why I have a beautiful picture of Shanice, and that we can do for that. But thank you again, Shanice. This has been a pleasure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it was great meeting you.
Yes. And
thank you so much. You too.
Drive safe.
Bye. I will. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Good
Bye
night.
now.
Good night.
Okay. So it feels weird to say kick off the show. Karen, thanks so much for arranging this. Actually, I loved it.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely I'm really, really, really excited. Are we live right now still? Yes, we are.
We are still live. So anyway, good job on trying to keep my train wreck of a thing going.
Oh, it's all good. And I'm looking forward to next week as well. They know who they are.
Oh, fun.
Oh.
Fun. Fun.
And yeah, and I have seen that there's some more applications that have come through. I will be going through them. I've been so busy with the retreat as well. Well, the two tours. But I'm definitely lining up the next little bit. It was just a matter of if you're wanting to do this every week or every other week, or if we're going to how we're going to do it. It doesn't have to be as regimented as that, but we do have somebody for next week. So looking forward to it. And yes, everyone, we will have this posted with a link to it for you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, good night, Karen. And
good night, Michael.
I'm going to have a glass of wine, I think.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Isn't that good?
That's a fabulous idea. Cheers, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, and goodbye.